Hello, it's time for a story. My name's Lloyd, and today I'm your storyteller. Okay, sitting comfortably? Got your listening ears on? Okay, let's go. Today's story is The Leapfrog by Hans Christian Andersen, and adapted ever so slightly by me for a modern-day audience. Once upon a time, there was a flea, a grasshopper, and a leapfrog who wanted to see which could jump highest. They invited the whole world and everybody else besides who chose to come and see the contest. 3 famous jumpers were they, as everyone would say when they all met together in the room. "My daughter seeks he who jumps highest," exclaimed the king. "So let that be the prize for this challenge." The flea was the first to step forward. He had exquisite manners and bowed to the audience on all sides, for he had noble blood and was, moreover, accustomed to high society, and that makes a great difference. Then came the grasshopper. He was considerably heavier, but he was well-mannered and wore a green uniform which he had by right of birth. He said, moreover, that he belonged to a very ancient Egyptian family, and that, where he lives, he is thought of very highly. The fact was, he had been just brought out of the fields and put in a cardboard house 3 stories high, all made of playing cards, with the coloured sides inwards and the doors and windows cut out of the body of the Queen of Hearts. "I sing so well," said he, "that 16 native grasshoppers who have chirped from infancy and yet have no house built of cards to live in grew thinner than they were before for sheer irritation when they heard me." It was thus that the flea and the grasshopper gave an account of themselves and thought they were quite good enough to marry a princess. The leapfrog said nothing, but people gave it as their opinion that he therefore thought even more of himself. And when the house dog sniffed at him with his nose, he confessed the leapfrog was of good family. The old councillor, who had been given orders to hold his tongue, asserted that the leapfrog could tell the future, for that one could see on his back if there would be a severe or a mild winter. And that was what one could not see even on the back of a man who writes scientific books. "I'll say nothing at this time," exclaimed the king, but he had his own opinion nevertheless. Now the competition was to begin. The flea jumped so high that nobody could see where he went. Everyone had thought he had not jumped at all, and that would have been dishonourable. The grasshopper jumped only half as high, but he leapt into the king's face, who said that was ill-mannered. The leapfrog stood still for a long time, lost in thought. It was believed at last he might not jump at all. "I only hope he is not well," said the house dog, when pop! He made a jump and landed into the lap of the princess, who was sitting on a little golden stool close by. Then the king said, "There is nothing above my daughter. Therefore, to bound up to her is the highest jump that can be made. But for this, one must possess understanding, and the leapfrog has shown that he has understanding. He is brave and clever." So, the leapfrog won the admiration of the princess. "It's all the same to me," said the flea. "She may have the old leapfrog for all I care. I jump the highest, but in this world merit seldom meets its reward. A fine appearance is all that people look at nowadays." The grasshopper sat outside on a green bank and reflected on worldly things. And he said too, "Yes, a fine appearance is everything. A fine appearance is what people care about." And then he began chirping his peculiar melancholy song from which we know his story, and which may, very possibly, be all untrue. although it does stand here printed in this book. So what this story is telling us is that it doesn't matter where you come from or what you look like, but how carefully you think about things and how much you understand things. So the person who jumps the highest or can run the fastest is not always the winner. That's all we've got time for today. I hope you've had fun. We certainly have. And we hope you can come back tomorrow. There'll be a whole lot of new activities and another story. Okay, bye for now.